Welcome back to Become a Bat. I'm your host, Tom,
And I'm Mike.
and today we're tackling the tail end of Batman number 12, and I think this will for real round off 1942.
Yeah.
Like we've been stuck on this here for a long time.
Yeah, you're right. It's fine though.
Yeah.
This is a year with a lot of change.
Yeah, like this issue's actually been like solid. I think the back half of this issue's been better than the first two. Like I really like these two stories.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. I'm disappointed in both for certain reasons, but not because the stories are bad. I'll get into that later.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know because okay. That's the first I've heard of it. I wasn't disappointed at all. Pretty happy with them. So let's get into it with Batman number 12, story number 3.
All right. This is Batman number 12, story number 3, The Thrill to Conquer. Art by Jack Burnley and Ray Burnley. Are they related?
I think I think we covered them on a previous episode, and they're brothers.
I think we covered one, but I don't remember saying both their names.
One of them was like the artist. The other one might have been the letterer or like colorist.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
All right, and written by Bill Finger. This splash page shows it's very simple.
Yeah,
It's Batman being fired out of a cannon by Robin, and he's rocketing towards a plane. That is it.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Still pretty absurd.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that would feel good.
No. But this one had a lot of action to it.
Are you going to read the splash page on this one?
All right, yeah, let me give this a shot here. Danger is the daily diet of those human daredevils we call the stuntmen, those fearless fellows who recklessly stake their very lives upon their steely nerves. Hairbreadth escapes are their stock in trade. Breathtaking hazards hold no terrors for them until their death mysteriously halts their gallant deeds. This is the thrilling story of the men who have to be brave for a price, and of Batman and Robin, the boy wonder, whose bravery could not be bought in the adventure of The Thrill to Conquer.
Whoa, does it say they thrill to conquer?
Oh, it does. They thrill to conquer. Wow. Okay.
I thought it was the thrill to conquer too.
I did too. Wow.
Good job on that one.
Thank you.
I think you're getting better at these.
I am, yeah.
It's just a matter of like getting that like announcer voice down.
Yeah.
Once you get that down, they're really easy. They all kind of
What fucks it up
go
is
the
you
same way.
go when you think they have a cadence, and then you like you see a line, and it's like that fucks up the cadence
yeah, I know.
every time. But yeah,
We'll see. I didn't read the other one yet. We'll see if I can do it on the first try.
good luck.
Okay. The daredevil who calls himself the Human Fly is busy scaling a 20-story building by hand. Onlookers watch with bated breath. Two of the onlookers are Bruce and Dick. They notice that a few stories up there is a man at the window with a gun. They sense danger and suit up as their alter egos, Batman and Robin. They dash to the top floor of the building, and Batman throws a rope line across the other side.
Real quick, remember when like the first appearance of Batman was like it takes him 20 minutes to suit up from Bruce Wayne?
Yeah. Now he just wears it under his clothes.
In this one, a guy can be like held at gunpoint, and he'll go from civilian to Bruce like in between.
And scale like
I
4 flights of stairs to the top of a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He bridges it with a tightrope and walks across. The men with guns see him and are distracted from aiming at the Human Fly. They start shooting at Batman instead. Our hero is prepared, though. He pulls a mirror from his belt and uses it to temporarily blind the shooters. Batman leaps from the tightrope to the side of the building where he grabs the Human Fly's hand and quickly helps him to the roof. The gunmen panic. One of them tries to flee, but as soon as he opens the door, Robin flies through it and knocks him out cold. He runs for the second shooter, but he gets shot in the face with ammonia. Robin passes out. When he comes to, Batman and Ford, which is the name of the Human Fly, are there with him. Ford tells them that if he had shot him with the gun, then he would have fallen to his death for sure. It would have been ruled an accident. Then he pulls a handful of newspaper clippings out of his pocket and presents them. They're all about accidental deaths of daredevils.
Okay, I think I know why you're disappointed in this one, and I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
He tells Batman that those men are all dead because they refused to pay for protection and that he's next. He can't even pay if he wanted to because he's too poor. He explains how he's part of a family of acrobats and how when there was a rope malfunction, Tommy, his youngest son, jumped in to save him but ended up falling to the ground and crushing his spine. Even after many expensive surgeries, Tommy still can't walk. Batman tells him not to worry about the crooks and their protection racket. He will take care of it. 2 nights later, he and Robin are backstage at Gotham Gardens. He walks straight to Ford's dressing room and finds him not even ready to perform. He smacks him around a little and then decides to take his place for the night instead. Batman goes out onto the floor and performs Ford's death-defying act, balancing a chair on top of a rickety stack of tables and tilting it back and forth while being clawed at by lions. As Batman performs the act fearlessly, Robin spots the man who shot him with the ammonia earlier. He follows the man up to the control booth where he confronts him and decks him in the face as a payback for the ammonia. The thug tells him that he's too late and then pulls a rope on the ceiling, springing a trap and releasing a barrel that knocks Batman's stack of tables over and leaves him face to face on the ground with the lions. Batman fends them off with the tables and then the barrel until Robin is able to swing in and pull him out of danger just in the nick of time. The crowd goes wild and the dynamic duo disappear into the night. Ford, having witnessed the whole thing, is grateful. The next morning, Bruce Wayne goes to Ford's booking agent and offers him $500 to appear in his charity bazaar that night. We cut to Bruce and Ford talking about the stunt. Ford says that he is down for good and walks away. Bruce decides to do the stunt himself and puts on Ford's gear and hops in the car. He stares ahead of the challenge before him. He has to drive the car through a loop and then through a burning bar. Only, at the end behind the barn, someone has parked a huge truck and if he can't find a way, to escape from the car in time, it will slam into the truck and he will be trapped in the burning building. Bruce prepares himself for the moment of impact and uses the centrifugal force to throw himself out of the car and through a window of the barn, just barely escaping the flaming death. The crowd goes nuts and Ford's manager runs over up to the disguised Bruce Wayne and tells him that he's already got the next act booked at the fairgrounds. I thought it was kind of funny that Ford's manager can't even recognize Bruce Wayne in Ford's outfit.
I know, and Bruce did like a perfect impersonation of him
of
with
his voice.
Yeah.
Like what? I get that he can do makeup, but like he didn't do any makeup there.
Yeah, and I was like looking at the art, and I'm like, they have different chins.
Yeah, I think the manager just doesn't give a crap about Ford.
You know what? That lines up.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna take this money however I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even recognize it when there's someone else pretending to be you. All right, the day before the fair, the dynamic duo walk through the ground to look for signs of death traps. They notice some interesting tracks and investigate. I like how it just dead ends there, though.
Mm-hmm.
The very next day sees Ford performing another death-defying stunt. He leaps from a 150-foot tower into a 3-foot bucket of water. As he falls, an explosion goes off right in his face. The crowd freaks out, and Ford's wife and son run towards the tower. Elsewhere, Batman and Robin spot the shooter from earlier pretending to run a ball toss game on the Midway.
It's a ball toss.
It's a ball toss game. You throw balls at things and try to knock them over. They chase after him and he takes off in a plane. Batman refuses to let him get away. He jumps into the human cannon and has Robin fire him at the plane. He lands on the wing and breaks in through a window. He wrestles with the shooter and the plane goes awry. Robin heads for the Batplane, which they stored in a nearby warehouse, but when he gets there, Ford is already inside. He and Robin take off for the other plane, and Ford makes a leap from the Batplane through open space onto the plane that Batman is in an attempt to save him. He isn't able to save him, but Batman saves himself, and then reaches out onto the wing and saves Ford before he falls off. They pilot the plane back to the ground, and Batman thanks Ford for his help. He may not have saved Batman, but he just pulled off the biggest stunt of his career and regained his self-confidence at the same time. Batman is proud. The end. I actually think the last panel he said like, you saved your manliness or something like that.
Something like that.
Like
yeah.
basically like you lost your manhood, but by doing this you got your manhood back.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama with Ford and just
And
like
his
his manhood, his confidence. It actually has a little bit more bite to it than like most of these stories.
Yeah, it does.
It's a little bit more than just let's get the jewels. We saved the crime. We stopped the crime.
Without reading my comments, can you figure out why I was disappointed in this one?
I'm guessing it had. This is what I was thinking when I was reading it. It's like, it deals with a family of acrobats / stuntmen.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, why isn't Robin like commenting on how similar this is to his situation?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, we've already discovered a couple like subcategories of Batman issues.
Mm-hmm.
This fits distinctly into the subcategory of Batman taking the place of a professional athlete of some kind and doing their job better than they do,
Yep.
which we've seen like 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah.
But this could have fit into like that really good character development story if they had instead focused on his acrobatic family
Mm-hmm.
instead of his stunts, and
Yeah.
then had Robin have the opportunity to like prevent his family like from going poor or broke or whatever, and have Robin help this guy get somewhere and like have a successful version of the Flying Graysons, basically.
Yeah, like if you think about it, this could have been like a pilot episode for a spin-off. Like
Yeah.
this Ford and his family could have been a comic in their own right.
It could have been a Robin-centric issue with
Yeah.
Robin taking the place of Batman, acting the way Batman does, and Batman playing the background character,
Yeah, like
which would have been amazing.
it could have been basically him like making up for his perceived failure and not being able to save his parents.
Yeah, which Batman gets the opportunity to do over and over and over.
Yeah.
So it's not that this is a bad issue. It fits right into that category that I was describing.
Yeah.
But it would have preferred it if it took the opportunity, which it already presented,
Mhm.
and mentioned to explore Robin's psyche.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think the golden age at this point is quite as reflective as it could have been.
Yeah, I know.
Like if this issue had come out even maybe like
30 years later.
Yeah, 30 years later, it would have been exactly what we're describing.
Yeah. They started getting psychological with Batman in the 60s, but it took until the 70s to really like hit its stride, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
There's-
looking forward to that.
We'll see a little bit of it probably in the 50s, but it's really tame.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they switch creative teams.
Yeah, I mean, definitely by the 50s, and I hear with the comics code and everything, they're gonna be like working with like one hand tied behind their back. So
Pretty much. But we'll be able to sense it because
Yeah.
they write like that. You know what I mean? Like they
Mhm.
write like they're trying to tell you something else. It's all like really subtle, but you know what they're really saying.
yeah.
Anyways,
when they write what's the word I'm looking for? Subtext.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of subtext in those.
Yep.
So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on here. I just said that like, this is another one where Bruce becomes an athlete and does someone's job better than them, impersonates them, which is fine. We've seen that before. It's fun to see that.
Yeah.
Because it just shows that like Batman's completely fearless. He'll do anything.
It's funny though because he's a stunt man,
Yeah,
but I mean he's also kind of a daredevil.
yeah,
So this is like the second time since like those Devils episode with the Devils where they almost make Daredevil,
yeah.
and then in the beginning he's like human fly. So I mean he's like scaling a building, by
It's like Spider-Man.
like Spider-Man. So they
Literally, Stan Lee just read one Batman comic. He
He's
got
like,
Spider-Man and Daredevil.
I got Spider-Man from this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they almost had Spider-Man.
Yep.
It would have been way different, but yeah, what that would have been interesting if they'd got to Spider-Man before
Yep.
what, I bet you if we like dig hard enough, we could find like a golden age superhero who was like named Spider-Man or Man Spider or something like that.
I'm sure there's one. The
Yeah.
human spider.
Yeah, something like that.
There's
just-
plenty of spider-themed like golden age like pulp like anti-heroes.
Yeah,
There's one that even has a gun that shoots webs and stuff, and he's called the Spider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I bet you there's some like villains, like that have the same kind of gimmick too.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So,
Did you
yeah.
have any specific thoughts about this one? You said you liked it a lot.
That
You liked
was
them both,
that. Well, that
so-
was basically you hit like why I liked it, and I mean that was why you were disappointed. But like, those issues like this had a little bit more going with it than like the typical stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are basically my thoughts and how they almost made Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yeah, just ignore my thoughts because my thoughts are biased. They're through
Mhm.
the lens of somebody who's been reading Batman forever
Well, yeah.
and also knows that if this were a modern story, that's how it would have gone.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So, but like if you're reading this back then, you could have just enjoyed it for what it was.
yeah. Well, I'm sure that's also how like Grant Morrison got a lot of his ideas. He's reading all the Golden Age stuff and
Yeah.
figuring out,
It's like, what if they had done this instead?
exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like,
It's really fun to do
how
that.
can I change it to be like modern and
Mhm.
subversive and cool?
Yep. Let's get into these panels here. This one had a lot of cool panels actually.
It did.
These two panels that I picked in the beginning here, they're actually like pages apart.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Robin gets revenge or payback in this, which it just makes me think even more that it should have been a Rob eccentric issue.
Yeah.
Because the first panel where Robin is like shot in the face with the ammonia gun
Mm-hmm.
is like really dramatic, and then this like also the guy's like, "You want it so bad, take it," and then shoots him in the face.
Yeah. You know what I found funny about that?
Hmm.
So Ford was like, he's shooting us with ammonia in our eyes, so we fall off and die.
Yeah.
It's like they could use regular guns and do the same.
Yeah, it would have done the same
A
thing.
bullet, yeah.
They just wanted Robin to get shot in the face with this weird yellow liquid.
Yeah, which when I first saw it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know. But then when he reconfronts the guy later, he's like, too bad you don't have another barrel full of ammonia to empty in my face.
Yeah.
Like, he's so mad.
It's very, yeah.
He looks so pissed off too, and he's just like punching the guy super hard.
He doesn't care that it's not quippy or anything. He's just he's so mad.
He's just like, fuck you. Robin's awesome.
So you posted this one, but I posted like because I thought it was great as a two-parter.
Yeah.
It's where they're confronting Kirk, and he's like, he's discouraged, and he says, get somebody else, and he's trying to figure out a way to get out of the stone. He says, I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
And then Batman instantly decks him in the face for this like suicidal thought.
He's like, you can't kill yourself. I'll knock you unconscious instead.
Yeah, like if you kill yourself, I will murder you.
Have you ever seen the movie Night Killer?
No.
You should look it up. It's an Italian movie, and it's really bad. But it's like so bad that it's good, like The Room. You've seen The Room, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene in there where this woman's like, I'm going to kill myself. And this guy's like, you're not going to kill yourself. I'll kill you first. You can't kill me before I kill me before you kill me. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
This kind of made me think of that.
Yeah, I put a little comment here that's saying Batman would make for a terrible crisis counselor.
Oh, yeah. At this point in his career, definitely.
Yeah.
I like this picture of Batman, though. I picked it not just because he's going to kill himself, but because I really like the way Batman and Robin look in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
They look so odd and different compared to how they normally look.
They
Batman's
do.
Arm looks very disproportionate.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's like reversed or something.
Yeah, but I like his ears a lot. They're
Yeah.
really, really short, but they look cool. And Robin's just like, he looks pissed off again.
Yep. So after that, we got Batman grappling with the lions on top of the chairs.
It was hard to pick which shot of Batman fighting the lions that I wanted to put in here because I knew I was going to put one in there.
I
figured you would put a different one.
Yeah, I put the other one in right under the other panel there.
So I picked this one just because it's like him in the middle of like falling while he's seesawing back and forth, not trying to get eaten by lions.
Mm-hmm.
But then you put in the one where he's kicking the barrel into a lion's face, which is also great.
Yeah, he's holding up one of the chairs, kicking the other one. Who knows how he get away from the other ones, but it's a pretty badass shot.
Mm-hmm. This next panel, I picked it only for one reason, but then as I was picking it, I realized that it reminded me of something, and it gave me a cool idea for a Batman comic. I picked it because his shadow is Batman's ears.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Batman sitting, and he's talking with
Bruce Wayne sitting in a chair.
Bruce Wayne sitting, yeah. Oh wow, yeah. I never
Talking to
noticed that.
Robin, who's in full-on Robin colors. Or
Yeah.
Dick in full-on Robin colors.
Yeah, they got that back after like the last story where they're not wearing their normal stuff.
Yeah, and this is just like a normal, completely non-Batman related conversation that they're having.
Yeah,
And then in the background, Bruce's shadow is Batman's head.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What's the idea for the story you had?
Well, when I was looking at it really hard, I was like, he kind of looks like he's in a wheelchair. And then I was like, why couldn't they, like, instead of Batman Beyond, what if we had a Batman that's in a wheelchair who had his own team of Batman family characters like the X-Men,
that'd be pretty good.
right? And he's
Yeah.
like training them, teaching them all,
Yeah,
and like talking to them like how Oracle talks to like the Bat family, except it's Bruce Wayne talking to them all and like
Yeah.
controlling everything from a little monitor. But then you have like, the different Batman themed characters out fighting crime.
I bet you that might have been like part of the pitch for Batman Beyond, but like they had Oracle at the time, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, let's make him not in the wheelchair.
They
I don't know. I'm
They just-
spitballing.
just don't want to put Batman in a wheelchair because
Yeah.
everybody wants to believe that Bruce Wayne / Batman will never be crippled. He'll always be Batman,
Yeah, either he'll be Batman or dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
which is fair.
So after that, we have the one. I put this one where
I
they're
love this one.
they're chasing Kirk. He's like the bad guy here, and he's like pretty badass himself. Like he's Batman and Robin are like trying to run catch him from getting on the plane. The
Mhm.
plane like seems to be moving, and he basically like he's holding onto like the top of the
The door frame.
door frame, and he's like swinging, kicking Batman and Robin both to like prevent them from getting on.
Yeah, he kicks both of them.
Yeah,
1 foot each.
that's honestly pretty impressive.
It's never happened before.
Yeah,
This guy, wait, I forget if he dies in the end or not, but
I think he falls off to his doom.
I don't know if it's explicit that he dies, but if he
Yeah.
didn't die, this would clearly be one of those guys who like sits around those tables with other thugs discussing the time he almost killed Batman.
Yeah.
And that would be a moment that he references
Mm-hmm.
when he kicked both Batman and Robin at the same time.
Yep.
This panel over here I love too. This I'm pretty sure this is after Batman jumps out of the or jumps onto the plane and
Mhm.
kicks in a window and then jumps into the actual airplane and starts fighting the guy.
Yeah.
But it's just like the way it's framed with Batman sort of like rushing at him from below, and then
Mhm.
he's like jumping up above him with the monkey wrench in his hand.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You're not taking me, Batman. Wanna bet on that? Batman takes everybody.
He does. He doesn't give a shit.
Nope.
And then the last group of panels is basically it's kind of like the last few panels from the story
Yeah.
where Batman is basically saving Kirk. Ford from his death.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Was Kirk's name? Ford. Was his nickname the Man of Steel?
I don't think so. I
Because
thought he's Fearless Ford.
Fearless Ford. Okay, because look at right here it says, "And the Man of Steel trumps it."
I think he's talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Because
So
Batman's got like those steel muscles. They're always
so Batman has been called the Man of Steel.
haha, Superman. Suck
Yep.
it. How's that? Has Superman been called the Man of Steel by 1942?
I think
Or
at
did
this
Batman
point-
get it first?
I think I think Superman. Yeah, I think he's been called
Are you sure? We need to look that up because
off the
Man of Steel is like his name for like the 80s John Byrne reboot.
Well, yeah, but I think when was Superman first called
Man of Steel.
the Man of Steel? Let's see if we can get November 1938.
Damn it.
Yeah. So they nicknamed it like the pretty Action Comics 6.
So it's really just like a jab then.
I think it's just they're like
They're like, here's the real Man of Steel.
I don't think it's a jab. I think they just
Siegel and Schuster.
I think they just use it as well, just because like fuck it.
Whatever. I'll take it as a jab. I like it. I think it works. They're competitive, but they're also working at the same company. So
Yeah. Who? How would they have known that we'd still be talking about these characters like 80 something years later?
because they wrote them really well. I don't know.
I don't know. They endure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. Speaking of endurance, we're gonna come back after a brief break. Stick around. And we are back. And this is the fourth story, concluding Batman number 12, Around the Clock with Batman. This was an unusual one, too.
Yeah, it was. I still liked it.
I
but
liked it
still have
too.
Complaints about it.
I don't know what your complaints are with this one, so
You'll see.
you'll have to see. But I did like it that this one wasn't like a typical like Joker has this crazy idea for a plan. He does it. This one he does it. He fails. He
does it with
fails.
This guy.
And then he gets caught. Like
Yeah.
this one was kind of like it's different the whole time.
I'll get into it later after you finish. But can I just say? Oh, go do your thing.
Oh no, I was just adjusting the machine thing.
This splash page is bullshit. It's a bold-faced lie.
It is.
I would have thought that this was gonna be like Batman and Robin versus Father Time,
versus Father Time,
but it's not.
No, even Batman knows you can't fight time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, even though he uses prep time to his advantage.
Yeah,
That's why you can't fight it. So, all right. Let's get in. Oh yeah. Okay, so actually, describe the splash page.
why don't you describe it?
Okay.
'Cause I'm gonna read the blurb.
So it's a another like small. It's not even the bad guy because there's Father Time here, which is
They're
it's
all
badass.
small.
They're all small. They're on a cuckoo clock. Batman is hanging from like the roof of the cuckoo clock, while Father Time is above. He's on the roof and he's got like a huge ass scythe. He's holding. I think that's like a timer
Or
like
an
a
hourglass.
Yeah, it's an hourglass timer. Yeah, either way. And he's about to slash at Batman, like he's in like Bloodborne.
Mhm.
And then Robin is about to either exit or enter the cuckoo clock house. And what time is it here? It's
It's
8:25
yeah,
or 8:20.
8:20.
Yep. Not
Totally
significant.
relevant at all.
Not really.
Doesn't mean anything.
Also, yeah, why would it be? Okay, I guess it's just ticking and talking. It's not ringing or anything.
Yeah.
It's not cuckooing. So yeah, that's the splash page. You want to give this one a whirl?
You bet your ass I do.
All right.
Every day, day in and day out, 24 hours a day, he's on the job, Who? The Batman. He's always there to help, advise, champion the weak, punish the wrong. This tale is a day in the life of the Batman, his breath snatching, headline making exploits, and two, all those many personal incidents in his daily life that you've never heard about. That painstaking routine, those scientific habits that go to make the Batman all he is, and more. Yes, this is the story, and there can only be one name for it. Around the Clock with Batman.
That was really good. That was really good. Yeah. All right. So, the synopsis for this one. Gotham City is celebrating their very first Batman Day. A parade for Batman and his trusty sidekick is being held. They're the toast of the town. The mayor even puts up a statue of the dynamic duo. Everybody appreciates Batman in their own way. And you know what they say though? You should not put up statues of people who are alive.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I saw that statue. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a little too premature.
Because what happens if like Batman gets all dark and edgy and broody and he's not a happy guy anymore?
Yeah, like Frank Miller's Batman.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
Right?
You deface the statue with spray paint.
Exactly. False god. So, we take a look at an average day in the life of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. So, they wake up, they work out at the gym, they eat breakfast, test out the bat plane, they do lab experiments, they test their memory out, and then they sell war bonds. Pretty typical. If you ask me, I don't know. Bruce sits at home and he's trying to finish his observation on crime case file notes on the psychological aspects of crime, and he's stuck. He can't figure out an idea for the last chapter. They decide to take a spin in the Batplane and look for crime, and soon they find a robbery at a jewelry store. They burst into the jewelry store and they fight the criminals, and eventually one releases a canister of tear gas, and they make their escape. Batman follows their truck in the Batplane. He swoops down and they stealthily spray a liquid on top of the truck and they fly away. The criminals feel like they scared off Batman, but in reality, Batman is able to track their trail with special infrared glasses. They track the truck to an outdoor sculpture show, and when they get there, they radio the police the location so that the criminals can get arrested. But the police get there and they search the truck and they don't find the jewelry or the crooks. And the art commissioner tells Batman that, they buy materials from these accused robbers. Batman thinks that the jewels must be in the sculpture exhibit somewhere. So Batman visits the art exhibit, but him and Dick, they're dressed up as an old man and old lady. And they're interested in the eyes of this giant Indian sculpture. Robin feels like the eyes are looking at him. So they get rid of their disguises and they jump towards the sculpture. The robbers are there and another fight ensues. Batman and Robin win the fight, expose the criminals as having been posing as the art dealers. I put posing as robbers. They're not posing as that at all. And they've been hiding the jewels in the exhibits the whole time. So normally this is where like the story would end, right? They foiled the crime. But this is about the average day of Batman and Robin, right?
But no, there's more.
The day continues. From there, they go to a children's hospital to hang out with the sick kids. They do tricks on the playground and do autograph signings, whatever, typical stuff.
That kid that Batman gave his autograph to cried
Yeah,
because he was so happy.
it would be that would have made my day.
Yeah.
And then they get a call about a suicidal woman who's about to jump off a building. So they go there and they rescue her, and which is all well and good. But then Batman gets word that there's a bank heist going on in Gotham at that very moment. And Robin, for some reason, thinks that the woman was actually a distraction. So, turns out he's right, as she receives a phone call in her hospital room and she confirms to the gang that the distraction was a success. Except, to her surprise, well, she doesn't know, she was talking to Batman. So, he tells her to meet them at the hideout so she can get her cut. They tail her to the hideout, and the gang is surprised to see her so soon, and then that's when they realize the jig is up, when Batman and Robin burst in. After a brief fight, they're taken out and arrested. So that's two big arrests in one day. Later at home, Bruce reflects on his day, thinking that it's a shame that he wasn't able to figure out what to write for his last chapter. That's when Dick gives him the idea that he should make the chapter a summary of the average day in the life of Batman. A day well spent, they get to sleep. The end.
Man. Why is Batman writing a book? That's what I want to know.
I mean, it's more like, I guess, case files. It's not really like a novel. It's more like a textbook, I guess.
There's an actual book of this, by the way. It's called Batman Case Files.
Really?
And it's told like an actual story,
Mm-hmm.
but in between the elements of the story, it goes over Batman's case files, like detail for detail. It's pretty awesome. You should look it up. The cover's painted by Alex Ross too. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's an actual novel. It's not like a comic book.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yep. Well, the artwork here is different. The actual art itself is pretty much par for the course, but they do this thing where they use these really long like widescreen panels or really long horizontal panels
Yeah.
that take up the space of like 2 or 3 long skinny panels, and they look really cool. They extend the action and make things feel more cinematic.
Mm.
Also, is May 25th Batman Day in Gotham?
Okay. I was like looking at that too. I was thinking about that. And I'm like, I don't know if it meant that was the day, or if they're like, let's take a look at the average random day, because it like this starts out with the Batman parade,
Yeah.
but the average day isn't, the parade. That can't be their average day.
I'm just going to assume that May 24th is Batman Day because that's my birthday.
Yeah.
And that the next day is the average day in Batman's life. Because
Be-
it can't be an average day if he's got a parade with his name on a banner.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? They did celebrate Batman Day in like May, and I think it might have been around like the
Yeah.
24th.
I'm just going to assume
Yeah.
that that's the day.
Yeah.
It's because I want it to be.
Yeah. I was reading that and I was looking at that. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. But then like, I had to like parse like,
Yeah.
is that what they mean or is this what they mean? And I know that like they moved Batman Day to September.
Yeah.
I can't remember the reasoning why. Probably just marketing. Just
Yeah.
there's less going on.
I
in
remember
September.
reading why. It's a stupid reason, DC Comics. It's a stupid reason.
Yeah, May has always been more significant Batman month.
It definitely has.
Yeah. Was that the reason why you were disappointed?
No.
Okay. Well, I would be if it were my birthday.
Yeah.
Why were you disappointed?
Because of the premise of this book being a day in the life of Batman,
Mm-hmm.
I think this should have been the story where remember, like I just said with the last issue, that there's different like subcategories of Batman or subgenres of Batman stories.
Yeah.
This should have been the slice of life Batman story
Mm.
where it humanizes him even more.
Yeah.
And you see things through his lens even more, and you learn more about his relationship with Robin. And like it should have been the humanizing issue to show you what Batman deals with day to day. Instead, it was kind of played for jokes.
Kind of, but I still, one thing I like about this one was that it brings us, I don't know if you would call it humanized, but like you show how Batman is like a community figure.
Yeah, it does do that.
I like that
guess.
a lot.
It does humanize him, okay?
Yeah.
You're right. But what it doesn't do is get into like the psychology of the character.
No.
Which, of course, they're not going to do that in
We're not.
1942. But like, again, that's just me looking at this through like the modern lens, being like, this is as close as they could get to that type of story back then.
Yeah.
Both of these stories are great,
Mhm.
but they could have been like so much better, because this could have been the slice in the life of Batman, the delving into Bruce Wayne's psychology, and the other one could have been delving into Robin and Dick's psychology. Like
Yeah.
this would have been the perfect two-parter if they had just just gone a little farther into the character development.
Yeah, Batman ironically is more concerned about the psychology of criminals than
Batman
the
himself.
Batman.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting from my point of view, that like he's so concerned with like actually learning about like the science behind crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wants to cure crime. He wants to like cure criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. The story, yeah, I did like the structure of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had like 2 unrelated heists, and then we had like one incident that was related to the other incident. Could have been done a little bit more. Like from what I remember reading it, like Robin was just like, I think she's lying. I was like, why don't we? I don't know. I would have liked a little bit better clue.
Yeah.
To like tip him off, because I felt that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one also, like this story and the last story both had like fake suicides.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, attempted or whatever, but yeah.
Just like usual, there's a lot of parallels between the two stories we pick.
Yeah.
Whether they're from separate comic books or the same comic book one issue in a row.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So this had that linking thing to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no rogues this week.
No.
That was interesting.
I thought it was kind of cool how Robin has a statue too. It's Batman
Yeah.
and Robin. It's not just Batman.
Yeah.
Because traditionally when there's Batman statues, it's just Batman.
Yeah, and Robin is like they're very much pushing that Robin is just as integral
Yeah.
to the Batman than just Batman alone. And he's the one who like helps Batman like figure out about, you know, the woman.
Yeah.
And I think he was the one who gave Batman the idea for the last chapter.
If I ever thought that Robin didn't have a place in the Batman mythology, it was proven wrong to me when Robin pulled a bullet out of Batman's chest.
Yeah.
Like I've liked Robin forever, but like I've never really thought about Robin doing that kind of stuff because I've always thought about Alfred doing that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But like the fact that Robin exists prior to Alfred,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh damn! Like everything that Alfred would do, either Batman does on his own or Robin helps with.
Yeah. I think Golden Age really sealed Robin for me, like made me appreciate him much more than I was able to before.
Yeah,
He's definitely the Watson to that.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He's Batman's Watson, but like if Watson was just like a small version of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
rather
he's
than,
like he's better than Watson. He's a miniature version of Batman. But
Yeah.
it has a completely different aesthetic.
Mhm.
You know,
He's
which
a-
works equally well.
Yeah, he's a sounding board who can like take over.
Right.
Yeah. Let's get into the panels. So I really like this two panel. Like I could see what you're talking about with
Mhm.
the. It does feel a little bit more cinematic. This is like the first one's the parade,
Yeah.
which that cop like he's like on the motorcycle. He's looking like way more like almost like like a soldier or something. I don't know. Like he's looking like he's about to like storm some kind of like
Right.
place. But
This looks like a photograph, like a black and white photograph that they would reference in another issue.
Yeah.
And be like, who was the shooter? And like that guy would be the shooter.
yeah,
He looks like he's there for more than just riding a motorcycle in a parade.
yeah. But I do like this panel a lot. It kind of reminds me of. Granted, it's not. Oh, Batman and Robin look really small in it, but
It doesn't matter. It
the
shows
f-
that like the parade is all for them. That
Yeah.
they're in the back of this like really fancy vehicle and they're waving and everyone's cheering for them. And
Yeah.
there's like, you know, confetti falling out of the
Yep.
sky.
it's connected to the statues of Batman and Robin. Which the statue doesn't have Batman's bat symbol on it, but whatever.
They do that a lot though.
They do that a lot. Yeah. Let's see. The Batman and Robin forever in stone and in our hearts. I wonder if we'll see that.
I like how that's not just like the blurb at the top of the page, but that's Commissioner Gordon saying that.
Yeah.
That makes it even cheesier. They're in
I-
your hearts.
I don't know if that's Gordon or the mayor.
Either way, they're
Yeah, I think that's the mayor because that's a top hat. Gordon doesn't wear a top hat.
either way, it's kind of cheesy.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay, I wanted to like text you this one, but I wasn't able to. I was on my my MacBook and like it didn't just like save it to my cloud, so I just like did it again. But
Were you gonna text me because of what he's saying?
yes,
Because it's great.
it's great.
It's great.
Yeah. So this is when they're at the gym working out in the morning, and Bruce Wayne is punching a punching bag, and he says, "Every time I hit this, I keep thinking it should be the Joker's face." That is a hilarious line.
Yep. I like that panel for a lot of reasons. I like it because he makes that quip about it being the Joker's face, which means he thinks about punching the Joker in the face a lot.
Yeah.
Which why wouldn't you?
You know what? That's a humanizing thing, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like it shows that he's got like this personal thing against
He's
him.
always like, "Damn Joker,"
yeah,
all the time. Yeah, I like that. I also like that he's wearing basically the Batsuit.
yeah.
Like it's a muscle tee. It's like a
That would like be a pretty awesome workout uniform.
yeah, it's a muscle tee, but it's gray like his Batsuit and skin
Yeah.
tight. And then, or I guess it's a tank top actually. And then he's
Yeah.
got like a yellow. It almost looks like his utility belt, but it's
Yeah.
just the top of his workout shorts.
Yeah,
Like he's wearing boxers basically.
yeah,
Like the actual boxer shorts, not like boxers like underwear.
yeah. Today I know his his muscle tee would probably like a Under Armour or something.
Totally. But I like that. You know, I was hoping it would be like shirtless because like I like the scenes where Batman's always training and punching bags, doing acrobatic stuff, and he's like shirtless.
Mm-hmm.
But Robin's freaking shirtless. Robin's like it almost looks like they're working out in like parts of their outfit.
Yeah,
Like Batman's wearing the bottom half of his outfit.
Yeah.
I would assume like he's got the boots on. I can't see it, but I'm just assuming.
yeah,
And then Robin's wearing the fucking underwear and the shoes and nothing else.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
cool. It's funny. It is humanizing.
yeah. After that is a very classic, panel of Batman doing sciencey things.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce Wayne, but I like his like science goggles.
Yeah, the science goggles make him look like Jason Todd when Jason Todd first came back.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a white like, kind of like shirt on with it's almost like a turtleneck. I can't call it a lab coat, but
It's probably a lab coat though.
yeah. Oh, I don't see like the buttons or anything. It's like a white shirt, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. He's got like almost a gauntlet on too for like
Yeah,
big-
like those huge rubber gloves.
yeah.
So he doesn't burn his hands.
And they're testing out iron like metal shavings. So like it seems like they're using this to like figure out like gun shavings or whatever to prove some kind of like
Yeah, he's trying to figure out whether or not the metal shavings that were in someone's pocket matched the gun.
yeah, which is very modern for that time. A lot of like the
Yeah.
forensics. It's cool.
Right?
Yeah, like Batman. Like, this is basically showing like Batman is using advanced techniques. He's always trying to be on the cutting edge.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they prove somebody's guilt, and Robin's like, "Oh, notify Commissioner Gordon." So like he does much more than just like punch dudes to solve crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
You put in this panel right here, which is
Yes.
Batman crashing through the skylight, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was shocked you didn't.
He's
do
like
that.
jumping in there fist first, like I'm here to
Yeah,
F stuff up. Like it's really awesome. But there's a long skinny panel that starts before that,
Mhm.
which I did put in like a panel below this,
Okay.
where it's really cool because it extends the action. Like I was saying, like
Yeah.
the first panel, it's almost like two panels stitched together, and it's the bat plane, it's floating, and Batman says he switched the stabilizers on. Let's go get him.
Mhm.
And then they're like coming down the ladder, and then the very next panel is him smashing through the skylight with his fist.
Mm.
So I was going to like Photoshop all three together,
Yeah.
like from top to bottom, but you put the other one in. So
Mm. Also, because they were able to track those the criminals down, with the infrared dye that he basically made.
yeah,
Like they've definitely made that like handmade in their lab.
they've been using that infrared goggle dye for a while now.
Yeah,
Because
like
he used it to track Robin a couple times. Robin used it to track him.
yeah, like they coated the boots with it so
Yeah.
you can see the footsteps.
Mhm.
Though, yeah, it's pretty cool. I imagine this one because like they put it on top of the roof of the truck.
Yeah.
Probably left like a trail, like an ion trail.
Yeah, it kind of showed that a little bit, like
Yeah.
all the little specks of it flying off and landing on
Mhm.
the road.
Yep.
I thought this next panel was hilarious.
Oh, you put is it the old man, old man and old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did Robin have to dress up like an old woman?
I think because like
They're like an old married couple.
I thought that was a little weird but funny.
It's funny, but like, come on. Like, you're really not helping your situation here. If you're trying to prove that they're not gay, which clearly they're not, but if you're trying
Yeah.
to prove that with your comic books, don't have them dressed up like an old married couple.
At this point, they weren't trying to prove that. They were just he's just like it would be funny if Robin was like this old lady.
It is funny. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And I mean, old little ladies like that, it's just the most like
I can just imagine like Robin from the Adam West show dressed up like an old lady.
yeah,
Me-
I would have loved to see that.
Like, oh my god.
That would have been great. I mean,
Yeah.
we have like all the like the camp with the nuns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It would have been right up the show's alley.
It would have worked really well in the show.
Yeah. So you posted the one of Batman doing like backflips at the children's hospital.
Do you know why I posted that?
Is,
know what?
is it just like the irony? I'm just guessing that like, hey kids, look what I can do.
It's the irony of, okay, literally it says in the little panel here, it says, at the hospital for children who are victims of infantile paralysis, Batman and Robin put on a show. So there's all these paralyzed kids, and Batman and Robin are doing freaking backflips.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the humor in
Like,
that.
what? They're cool. They're like, yay, Batman and Robin. But they're
Yeah.
also like, damn, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this moment in time, the president has polio and is in a wheelchair. This is like pre-polio vaccine, so
Well,
it's
There's also another panel, though, which I think this issue has a lot of like propaganda in it. Because he's like, well, the last one did too, like where they're trying to get people to donate money to
the war bonds.
the war bonds.
Yeah.
But this one, he's like trying to get people to donate money to something else because he's doing all these backflips and showing off for these kids. And then he basically says to the reader, like, donate money to the March for Dimes so these kids can walk again.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they
didn't catch
totally
that.
did.
Wow. Huh.
They're using Batman a lot to like market things towards.
Well, that's
kids
like I
and their
said.
parents.
He's a community figure
I
in
know.
and out, so like it works.
Yeah.
Um,
But I just thought that was kind of messed up. Like, it's funny. Like, I guess the kids appreciate seeing Batman, but at
Yeah.
the same time, like, dude,
Yeah.
They can't even walk, and you're doing backflips over a bar. Come on now.
And so our last panel to wrap this up is the one where they're bursting into the hideout of the gang after they followed the lady to get her cut. And I like this hideout. Like what what is this hideout?
It looks like there's like a crowd in the background, doesn't it?
That's what I keep thinking too.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know. It's
It could be a bunch of coal or something, maybe.
coal. I mean, that's like a tank of some sort. Maybe like a giant water
It could
heater.
be like a furnace. Maybe they put the coal in the furnace.
Oh,
and
you know
it's
what?
like
Yeah,
the power or something.
because Robin's holding it. He's beating them up with a shovel.
Yeah, it's
So
probably a coal furnace.
It's a coal furnace. Yeah, but the
Yeah.
art is really good.
It is, and I like how they're playing poker in
Yeah.
this coal basement here. And then
Yeah.
you just bust in, and they're like, you can sense the emotion here. Like they're getting freaked out. And they throw the cards in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and then also I love the last two parts here where the guy's like shooting at Robin, and Robin's like pling pling pling, and he
Yeah.
holds up the coal shovel, and then he smacks him in the face with it like right afterwards,
Yeah,
and the shield becomes a weapon.
that must have taken a lot of bravery just to be like bam, bam, bam. You know, like
Yeah.
almost like a lightsaber, like dodging the bullets.
Yep.
Yeah. So that wraps up Batman number 12. Next week, we're going to do the first two stories in Batman number 13. Batman, the first story is Batman Plays a Lone Hand. And story number 2 is Comedy of Tears.
I'm gonna take Comedy of Tears because it's a Joker story.
Okay.
But I bet you, I'm not gonna bet any money because I know I'm wrong, or I know I'm right. That Batman Plays a Lone Hand is gonna be the better of the two stories,
Yeah, you will see. Maybe it's going to be one where like Batman is like, they're gambling.
or it'll be the one that I thought this last issue should have been.
Yeah.
Watch
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Good night.
later.